Do you guys know what a sequel is? Oh my goodness. So, if you haven't heard, there are many criticisms of Spider-Man 2, the gameplay that we saw. And I have to say, a lot of the criticisms aren't valid. For example, you have people talking about, oh, the game looks like it's PS3. Oh, the graphics look bad. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Are you blind or dumb? Pick one. The game doesn't look like it's bad graphics. The game doesn't look like it's PS3 graphics or PS4 graphics. The graphics look great. Now, of course, we're obviously not going to get a major jump in graphics from, the PS4 to the PS5. You're not going to get that same jump as when you had the PS2 and then you got like the PS4. That's not going to happen, okay? It's just not. But these graphics, they're very much the same graphics of the previous game, which, I don't know what to tell you, weren't bad. They were good. I know when it comes to Puddlegate, you may have little issues and certain downgrades like that, but overall, the graphics are fine. In addition to that, you have people who are trying to deflect, right, when people bring up that criticism by saying, this isn't the final build. This isn't the final build. It's going to improve vastly. No, it's not. Stop saying that, right? It's crazy. The graphics aren't going to significantly improve on the final build, nor is the gameplay. What we are seeing is very much what we are going to get when it launches. I don't know what to tell you. The case in point was during Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man PS4, the E3 2017 gameplay. If you juxtapose that next to the retail, there wasn't that significant of a difference. You may have a little tweak in the graphics, a little downgrade here, a little different maybe animations or whatnot, but overall, it's the same game. Please stop saying, oh, they're going to fix it in the final build. It's not going to happen. Stop. You sound dumb. Then you have people complaining about, why is it in New York? Why is it taking place in New York? And I'm like, where else do you want it to take place? In space? Like, what are we talking about? This is dumb criticism, okay? Were we applying the same criticism to Batman Arkham, right? Why is it in Arkham? Why is it not in somewhere else? No, because that's dumb. Like, it's Batman, obviously. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's Spider-Man. Yeah, it's going to be in New York. What's the problem here? Then you have these people who are talking about the animations and they know nothing about animation, right? The issues that I have with the animation are vastly different from the issues that these plebs have with the animation. I don't know what they expect. Here's what it seems based off of the comments that I've read on videos and on Twitter. This is what they think is going to happen. They think that a developer, right, is going to completely erase all of their assets, all of their animations, like everything, their lighting, all that, and just completely all from scratch for the sequel. No, that's not going to happen. If you think you're not going to get similar animation or the same animations from Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, like, you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know what to tell you. You're just dumb. The issues that I had with the animations weren't necessarily the animations, but that it was more from a gameplay storytelling mechanic, which is that the character on screen is extremely night and day from the character we're used to. It'd be tantamount to Catwoman in Arkham City moving around the city just like Batman, right? Catwoman, she doesn't have a cape. She's not going to glide. So obviously, we're going to have a different mechanic. Same thing with Nightwing. Nightwing isn't going to fight the same way that Batman does. It may be similar, but it's not going to be the same thing. The same thing with Robin, right? There's going to be certain gameplay mechanics that involve storytelling mechanics that are fundamentally going to have to change. That's the issue that I had. Whereas the animations for the symbiote are fundamentally going to have to be different than his regular Spider-Man animations. It just is what it is. They're fundamentally two different characters. It's having more of a storytelling aspect on the gameplay mechanics that they can use to give a better experience to the player. This goes in to one of the biggest concepts when it comes to game sequels. And that is, when it comes to a sequel, the main goal is to improve upon the original, the first game, not to redo. I don't know what people think where they think they're just going to completely redo everything. That's not what it is. When it comes to Spider-Man, I think there are three really big points that can be improved upon. That's going to be the combat, the web swinging, and the bosses. Those are the three major aspects that I'm looking forward to in Spider-Man 2. When it comes to the graphics, graphics are fine, bro. The graphics are good. It is what it is, right? When it came to Arkham Knight and the Arkham series, you're not going to get any medal for the graphics because that wasn't the focus of the game. It wasn't to be eye candy. When it comes to the story, I think the story is going to be fine. It's going to be great. I don't have a problem with the story. I want to know something that's going to impact me as a player. That's going to be the combat, that's going to be the web swinging, and that's going to be the bosses. That's what's going to impact me. Even when it comes to the looks, right? When it comes to looks, I may hark on the symbiote suit and how it looks and how I despise that design, but at the end of the day, does that really matter? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. It's a skin, bruh. At the end of the day, I know this, it's a skin. I just don't like the design. But that skin doesn't change how Spider-Man punches. That skin doesn't change like his mechanics, his takedown moves or whatnot. That doesn't change those core mechanics of the game. Now, in my opinion, it should actually have an impact on it where it alters it, but it's not going to change the core code of the game. It's not going to do that. So when it comes to combat, I'm not looking for an entirely new system. I'm looking for an improvement. The same improvements that were made from Arkham Asylum to Arkham City. I think minor changes can have a very major impact. There are certain tweaks that they can have, such as, I don't know, battle damage. I know it's not, in combat or web swinging or bosses, but certain cosmetic changes like that can have a major impact on the game. It can bring you back into the immersion. I've seen Spider-Man's suit get damaged, his goggles, maybe have his eyes show and all that. Simple, right? Simple fix. But it can have a major impact on the flip side. When it comes to combat, I'm thinking of, certain ways that they can improve upon the combat, which is what we saw in the gameplay, was an improvement, which is where he pounces the person down the ground and they bounce up. That wasn't in Spider-Man 1. It wasn't. Now, I'm expecting more improvements like that in the actual game, in the combat mechanics, because I think the combat, Spider-Man 1 was great. But they can still improve upon it, and that's what I want to see. I think as far as when it comes to I think it was like a 3-hit combo he did, I wasn't really feeling it. I didn't feel any difference in the symbiote, the combat of the symbiote, as opposed to Peter. But once again, we haven't seen that much. I haven't seen how Peter fights. So I can't really judge the animations or the style between Peter and the symbiote. All we saw was the symbiote. When it comes to web swinging, one thing that they did was an improvement was web wings. Now, I think the issue that I would have, and I think many people have, it's not necessarily the web wings, it's not necessarily the web swinging or any of that, it's the execution. Because if they execute it poorly, right? If they execute web wings and it's just like an automated sequence as they had in the demo where you go in this, little wind tunnel with stuff like that, then we're going to have a problem, okay? Then it's like, yeah, you got a new mechanic, but it's not really a new mechanic. It's like, it's training wheels. That's what it is. It's holding my hand throughout this new mechanic. That's going to be the biggest issue, is how they execute the web wings. And when it comes to contextual animations, that's what I want to see. I want to see some new animations of him hitting, a gliding against the side of the buildings. Maybe you have some animations, how they have the dive bomb. Like I've said this before, where you have the dive bomb and maybe, it's a closer camera, like in Spider-Man 1, where you see the cars alongside you. Certain little minimal, changes like that, fixes that enhance the web swinging mechanic. I think there should be certain, areas where you're gonna need the web suit. And there's certain maneuvers that you can use the web suit and then go into, swinging. I also would like to see grinding. There are a lot of things that they can improve on the web swinging. A lot of things. When it comes to bosses, well, bosses are bosses, okay? We're obviously going to want an improvement upon the bosses. Not so much as punch, 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 web, punch, 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 web, right? We're going to want to see more complex level design in the bosses that complement the story as well. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement. Now, I think people are confusing improvement with a complete revamp, like a complete makeover of all the mechanics. That's not what a sequel is, okay? We want to improve upon the mechanics that they have and maybe add some new mechanics, which is what we've seen thus far. There's been improvement on the mechanics in addition to new mechanics. So as long as they keep that down that path, we should be good. They should be Gucci. And hopefully, all things equal, that we may be looking at Game of the Year. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you happen to believe, yeah, this looks like the same old, all right? I'm not really excited by it. It looks like trash. I don't like the suit. I don't like the gameplay. The graphics are bad. It's going to be a pass for me. Or if you have belief, listen, I'll give you that, that same excitement that you had when seeing Spider-Man PS4 at E3, in 2017. That's not there. It's just not. Because it seems that they're going a different route. There's nothing that's like, there's nothing there. It's all, and I think as a gamer, if you've been playing games along, you're going to be desensitized to a lot of the sequences. You're going to be desensitized to the graphics. You're going to be desensitized to a lot of improvements, which are in fact improvements. They just, they just don't hit you the same because you've already been inundated with so many other games that either done that or have done it better. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, well, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. That fun stuff. Until next time, guys, be amazing. Prove upon the original, the first game, not to redo.